Welcome to video 2. So in video 2, we're going to be going through the basics behind how you're going to use Zotero to manage all of your online citations. So if you successfully installed Zotero, you're going to see two icons. One is this folder icon here. The other is this little icon here. So close out this window. So we're going to open Zotero in our browser by clicking here. The other thing is, if you're using Zotero remotely through a browser, you will need to log in. So during the installation process, you will be prompted to create an account. You can see in here that I am CWU guest. I have my settings, my inbox, my download. Once I'm logged in, it logs me into my Zotero account, which is this content you're seeing right here. Okay, now let's get started with the actual fun part. That is downloading lots and lots of citations. So let's say we're browsing around in CWU library on our main page. We searched for America, because why not? So I want to start building citations for a class. I'm going to scroll over to this link here. So it should say new collection. No, excuse me, that's a new feature. So these are my collections. I'm a folder, I'm another folder. So I want to name, start a name for my collection. Let's say, for example, we're taking a class in U.S. history, so we can call it U.S. history. And then on a personal level, I've found it's always a very good organizational strategy to include the course number, just so you kind of know the course that it's associated with it. So let's say U.S. history 99. So here we have a brand new collection, U.S. history 99. There's nothing in it, but we're about to fix that. So on Zotero, I'm going to minimize the screen a little bit, is we have a journal article, America, New York, NY, 1909, online. And let's say I want to cite it. Click on the link. And okay, so we're going to go through EBSCO. That's fun. So here we go. So Zotero is doing its thing. And there should be a little icon that pops up right here. Sometimes it takes a little while to load. Well, anyway. It doesn't seem like it's loading this time around, but that's not really an issue for us because there's another way we can get at the information we want. So let's go back. So I want to cite this. I click on the folder icon here. I see the item, America, New York, 1909, online. I click. And away we go. We see here an icon below that says saving to U.S. history 99. And here's our item. So what Zotero has done, as you can see, is it's captured the relevant metadata for the document. It has an item type, document, it has our title. We weren't able to identify an author or a first or last name. This sometimes happens. Sometimes, as you probably know by now, not all documents have authors. We have our abstract number, our publisher, our date. In summary, everything you need to build a great citation. So let me walk you through how we do that. So I click on this item, I scroll over here, and what you're going to want to do is, before you get around fooling around with your import or exports, we're going to go to Preferences. So here, we need to go to our Citation tab, because as you know, there's lots of different ways to cite material. Our Export tab. So this is basically a add-on that you need to install. And then if you do this, Zotero can automatically plug things into your Word documents, but we're not going to walk through that right now. So if we go to the left on Export, we see that Quick Copy. Quick Copy allows you to copy selected items into the clipboard by pressing Control-Shift-C, your standard sort of copy, or dragging items into a text box on a web page. And here's our default output. So at the moment, we are in Chicago Manual of Styles 16th edition, which we may or may not want. A lot of classes here have different citation rules. You may be citing in Chicago, or Americans like Psychological Association, APA. There's also a lot of other options that Zotero can handle, because it basically can format a lot of different types of metadata. So Zotero can handle our APAs. It can do it in Chicago. It should also, here's our MLA citations page, like Modern Language Association, Modern Humanities Research Association. It can also handle American Anthropological Association, or any of these other formats here. If you already have an account through a program like sort of EndNote or RefWorks or like Bibliotex, which are all valid citation tools, you can also create a quick copy and import it right into these files. So we're not going to have time to sort of do that in this presentation, but this is definitely an option that you should consider if you're already using these tools and don't want to like sort of lose all your work. So we can close that out. You also have the option of copying it and to HTML if you're looking to put this straight onto a web page. I suspect for most of you that's not going to be the case, so we don't need to worry about that right now. So with that, we can also look at our general tab. If you want to change sort of our font size, some people don't like staring at small characters, so the ability to put in medium, for example, might be useful. In general, though, you're going to want to leave these things alone. Automatically check for updates, translations, and styles, and open PDFs and other files within Firefox when possible. So these are all valuable tools, and it's worth considering. Now, if you're feeling particularly keen, you do have the option of going back here and getting your word processor plugins. This is a little bit of a tricky process. We don't have time to do it today, but if you follow this link, it's relatively straightforward. So let's minimize that. So once we've done that, we can select create bibliography from mine. We select. We can also do it this way. We can save it as RTF, copy to clipboard. We'll do that. So once I've done that, I've copied the file. And if I were to go to a Word document, I could paste it. And it would, basically we can instantly develop citation tools. So this concludes our second part of our Zotero lecture. And we're going to move into the last section, which is going to talk about Zotero's more advanced features. So if you're interested in, for example, importing PDFs into Zotero, working with notes or tags, or adding links to files so you can immediately jump back to content, this is worth considering here. So with that, I'm concluding part 2.